By the way, I know the _Mersh account on YouTube. Thank you so much. You are amazing. We got to watch this guy. Oh, is this it?
Clip I saw. Somebody, either Anthony...
By the way, Will Herren went on Steel Toe today and absolutely, like, I think is trolling him and he's not picking up on it, but either way.
Brought it up on a recent stream he did, which was weird because I thought he was banned from YouTube. I thought he had a stream taken down. He got his YouTube taken away, but apparently he's got his YouTube.
He caught a weak ban.
He was doing a show. I don't know if somebody asked him to comment about Steel Toe or he just brought me up.
It's very clear from the clip, Aaron, that it was a super chat. Oh my God, Aaron even just wants to believe deep down that he naturally just organically came up in conversation. Oh no, Aaron, we all saw the clip. Don't do that. Why does Aaron always have to lie and like deflect about the most like demonstrably true things? Things that we all witnessed. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, if it was like somebody brought me up to him or if it was like he just has me on his brain all the time. We know which one it was, Aaron. We just watched it. Somebody super chatted $1.99 and said, what are your thoughts on Steel Toe? Why are you like this? Why do you need to matter so much? None of this matters. We're all gonna die, Aaron. All of this shit's worthless. We're all gonna die. So what do you care? Think like you're a boxer. Do you like? I like to think like Mike Tyson. Like there's no legacy. We're just all gonna die, and ego. It's just ego, and you're just gonna turn to dust. You're gonna fucking die. Everyone you love is gonna die, and your pets are gonna die. Like, come on, man. Have some fucking dignity for once in your life. I know you think I hate you, but I kind of want to see you be a man for once. Of course, AG Luck. Of course, post it. My bad. I should be telling people about it more. I'm sick and I'm out of it, but of course you can post it. Guys, check out AG Luck. He's got a GoFundMe. Stupid idiot got cancer. Like a stupid idiot. Anyway, let's continue here. I don't know if Anthony was just thinking about me. If you want to maybe invite me down to South Carolina and have some cigars.
Somebody, either Anthony brought it up on a recent stream he did, which was weird.
This playing dumb thing. I kind of...
Because I thought he was banned from YouTube. I thought he had a stream taken down. He got his YouTube taken away, but apparently he's got his YouTube. And he was doing a show. I don't know if somebody asked him to comment about Steel Toe or he just brought me up. But I actually thought what he said was pretty nice.
What? Look, man. This guy might himself. This guy might end up himself. And I'm not saying that like in a funny way. I mean, genuinely, like, there comes a point where, and I've said this, I have this theory about, you can only have reality shift away from your own perspective of reality. So, like, they can only get so far apart before it snaps back like a rubber band and you yourself. This guy's probably gonna himself. Because I don't understand it. I don't know how you can watch what we just watched. He said, you're a stupid Comet that only matters every once in a while. Your show is uninteresting and you're not funny. And you're like, oh, that was pretty nice. The guy is actually an arsonist and a child and a murderer. I thought everything he said was pretty nice. Come on, we gotta get this again. I gotta hit this again. We're gonna wrap it up in a few minutes here. I feel like shit. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll finish this video. What time is it? 11:50. I don't know. It's fine. We're fine.
Another clip I saw, somebody, either Anthony brought it up on a recent stream he did, which was weird because I thought he was banned from YouTube. I thought he had a stream taken down. He got his YouTube taken away, but apparently he's got his YouTube and he was doing a show. I don't know if somebody asked him to comment about Steel Toe or he just brought me up, but I actually thought what he said was pretty nice. He's like, yeah, Aaron's like this comet that just comes around every 75 years. And I'm like, all right, that's fine with me. I'm this thing that just comes in, boom, hammers through, leaves a mess, and then out the other side.
That's not what he meant by that at all. That's not what he meant at all. Is that what you got from that? That's what you got out of that. Because you and I have very different ideas of what he was talking about.
And then he's like, I've watched him a few times, not that interesting to me. And it's like, all right, fair enough. I mean, one of my broadcasting influences. So I learned it from watching you, Dad. But I don't know, like.
I'm like, how do you live in that world, Aaron? It's fascinating. Aaron, I want to see through your eyes for one time. Like, you know, kind of like when I see somebody and they're on some really good LSD. And I just think to myself, man, I wish I could see the world the way you're seeing it just for 2 minutes. I mean, I really want to know what the world looks like through your lens, the lens of Aaron Imholt, because you have a very interesting perspective. you have such a fascinating perspective, and it's, how does he do it? How does he do it? How can you just? You're literally getting trashed by your fucking hero, and you're still calling him Dad and going, I thought Dad was pretty nice to me. You're a grown man with children.
Like, I worked on his network for about 6 shows.
You didn't work on his network for 6 shows. You kept bothering E-Rock. And then E-Rock was like, hey man, this guy is willing to just, if we throw his show up on the compound, like, we'll let him have a one-off special. We don't even have to pay him anything. And Ant was like, that's fine, whatever. And then you did it a couple more times. They didn't pay you, and you didn't work there. You did content for free on Compound because you wanted to be associated with them. And behind your back, Aaron, they were all laughing at you and calling you a clown. A clown-ass.
I hosted his show while he was out with a health emergency. He's been on my show. I've been a guest on his show. So, you know, I'll be very honest with you. He and I have had way more path crossing than I ever thought we would back when I would listen to him. So
So the cope is that Aaron's still in the big leagues.
I'm honored and grateful and thankful. Unlike that turncoat Gino. No. And yeah, I wish I had something controversial for you. I know you want like fireworks and everything else. I thought that was nice.
If you thought that was nice, Aaron, you're fucking insane. You're insane. You honestly should be... I don't know, man. You say you go to therapy, but I would like you to be honest I would like you to show the therapist that clip of what Anthony said about you, and then this clip of you and your interpretation of it. I want you to show her the video of Anthony, and in her office, just explain to her your interpretation of what you just told us. And I dare your therapist not to hold you for a 3-day evaluation, like a 72-hour psychiatric break hold.
You know, usually I see a clip, Steel Toe, and someone's like, I'm calling you out, Steel. I'm like in Hulk Hogan to some of these people. Like, I'm going to kill Hulkamania. I'm calling you out, Toe. And I'm just like,
what? Now in his head, he thinks Anthony Cumia is calling him out for clout. See, in this scenario, Anthony Cumia is going to end Aaron Mania, Cuckamania. But if you're saying compared to Anthony Cumia, you're the Hulk Hogan in this situation? Fuck is he, King Kong Bundy? You're the one who looks up to him. Dude, this is insane levels. This might be the craziest level of cope, even for him. Even for Aaron Imholt. This is unbelievable levels of cope. How can you live in this world? Let me see if we can
hit real American. I'll go out there. But no, he just went, he's a guy. He does a show. He likes me. Thanks for liking me. He did. He said, well, thank you for your support. And then he said, I've listened to him a few times. Not one of my favorites. But he did say he's like a comet that blows through the solar system every 75 years ago. What the is that? I take that.
That also was not a compliment.
As a supreme compliment.
No, he was saying that this Dabblerverse thing has like the people that are interesting and really intertwined in it. And that you come through like a comet trying to catch some of that fucking clout every once in a while. And you're annoying. And you blow through and you're forgettable. Like a comet.
It's kind of how I do my show. So I actually thought that was a really nice clip. And I guess what I'm trying to say is it could have been way worse.
Okay, Aaron. So what was it like knowing that she was in the other room with him? Like, you got to tell me.
Okay, so Will Herren came in like a wrecking ball. And Aaron gave him the link. Aaron let Will Herren pop on, the only Dabbleverse journalist. I mean, he's getting the scoops. Will Herren is absolutely a ball breaker and a troll. And Aaron, I don't think really picks up on it. But he asks Aaron, how did it feel to know April was in the next room?
It could have been way worse.
Okay, Aaron. So what was it like knowing that she was in the other room with him? Like, you got to tell me.
Well, I was.
Did that burn your soul?
I was busy.
Okay.
I was busy doing the same thing. And I got yelled at for doing it more. So. No, I think what it is I think it was two people who didn't know how to just get a fucking divorce like normal people. So you just didn't. I'll tell you this, like being in a healthy relationship now, if you give a shit, if you care about someone, you can't do that.
Right.
Like you wouldn't be able to do that if you cared about someone.
What was it like going there with April and then leaving without her?
Aaron wants to be liked so bad that look, Will Herren, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And by the way, this was like, Will Herren cut this up. There's a lot of clips of him on Aaron's stream, but I don't know why he cut these up this way, but trust me, he started off like upbeat, but he just kept slipping in shit, bro.
Like when this was all said and done, when it was all
Yeah, well, and like kind of like those times, like she wanted to stay, and like you would leave. Like
that didn't.
How could you let that?
That didn't happen very often.
Okay,
That didn't happen very often. That was always towards the end, and I was just so sick of her drug shit, and then her yell, and then she was sick of me bugging her about the drug shit, and it got to about. It didn't get to hatred, but it got to just mutual kind of indifference towards each other. Now, if you're talking about like if Keemstar and Happy Punch put together another internet guys do a thing and it's business and
this is him talking about wanting to fight.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'd pay for that.
I got a fight coming up February 22nd. I'm going to come back. I got to drop about 10 pounds.
You should stream it.
I probably will.
That's a great idea.
Please don't. Will is, listen to him. Will Herren's evil, bro. He knows what he's doing. You should stream it, bro. Yeah, you should totally do that, bro. Will Herren. Don't ever let this guy fool you. He's here for the content. Will Herren is here for one thing and one thing alone. I read people from the internet pretty well. I'm not saying Will Herren's a bad guy, but I certainly wouldn't be giving him any one-on-one scoops on a Discord voice chat, like, and telling out-of-pocket secrets and shit, because he's all about the content. That shit would leak. He's a journalist.
Probably. It's going to be hard because the gyms you're in for those events are not, there's not a lot of good vantage points, but I'll definitely film it, and if it's streamable.
Yeah, if it's streamable, meaning if he wins. Pussy. Stream it. Live stream it.
Stream the damn thing. But yeah.
I ask you this: the Gino Visconti thing. How could you be friends with them again after they literally tacked a charge onto your record? You had to go to court. Your mug shot was plastered all throughout the internet. Yet you still become friends with these people again and let them back on your show. Like, that's amazing to me.
I'll say this about the mug shot. Let's not pretend I didn't play that up and talk about it.
Oh yeah, it really paid off for you. Your revenge porn mugshot was really cool. It was neat. He's gonna deflect here, right? Well, let's call it what it is. It's alleged revenge pornography. And the reason why he's friends with the Viscontis again, and it's because I stuck by this when this all happened. The Dabblerverse weirdos want everyone to think that Gino or whoever went to the cops themselves. I don't believe the Viscontis would even be bothered to go to the cops over that. I believe, what we all believe, is that you sent it on a live stream, you dumb fuck, bragged about it on a live stream with Gino. You made Gino an accomplice in something that unsolicited that he didn't want anything to do with. Somebody, who knows who, Melton, Kiwi Farms, just any A-log out there that wants to get their fucking, all they had to do was send a fucking tip to the cops. And the context and a written explanation as to what this is in reference to, I guarantee you, that's what happened. And the cops contacted fucking Gino and said, did this guy send you some nudes of some chick? And he probably went, yeah, I want nothing to do with this. So whatever you guys need, I didn't do anything wrong. And that was the end of it. The cops came and he gave them his phone and they checked it and they checked the records. And he's like, yeah, he did do that. But, you know, based on the clip, obviously I didn't ask for it. Fuck you want from me? That's not snitching. Like, if you do something and you implicate me and I know I'm innocent in something, I'm cooperating against you. That's not snitching. Snitching is going out of your way to stick your nose where it doesn't belong and be like, they're doing this and they're doing that over there. That's snitching. Snitching to save your ass when you did do something wrong, but you can throw other people under the bus and get out of it, that's snitching. Snitching is not you trying to get the cops to implicate me in something and me cooperating. That's me going, all right, I'm not getting fucking charged for this, right? Because I didn't ask for nothing, I didn't want nothing, and I deleted the picture, so what do you want? The cops would be like, did he send it to you? We need you to at least make a statement that he did that. All right, hey, he did that. Don't put that shit in my life. I don't do that shit. I didn't send nobody else her nudes. I don't send my chicks nudes to nobody. Like, you don't do that. It's just not what normal people do. But let's hear his explanation. I'm going to get another beer.
The Gino Visconti
I can go
thing.
another hour.
How could you be friends with them again after they literally tacked a charge onto your record? You had to go to court. Your mug shot was plastered all throughout the internet. Yet you still become friends with these people again and let them back on your show. Like, that's amazing to me.
I'll say this about the mugshot. Let's not pretend I didn't play that up and talk about it. Let's not pretend I didn't go, that's a damn fine looking mug. That's a pretty good looking mug. And let's be honest, as far as mugshot goes,
What a bad one.
that ain't a bad mugshot. Best
I give it a
mugshot.
7.
Thanks. Yeah, one of the best mugshots.
In Minnesota 7.
In Minnesota 7, yeah. So, I don't want to upset anybody, but I wouldn't use...
Wild night, I'm having 2 beers. I shouldn't be having any beer, but I'm sick. And if I don't have any alcohol, it'll just make me sicker.
use the word friends.
Oh, please do.
I wouldn't use the word friends. We're cool. We're fine. And also, I'll read it when everything's all said and done. I'll read the transcripts and whatnot. Gino did not harm my position at all. What Gino said, let's just say, was he did a great job of walking a tightrope between his wife and someone he considered a friend. And let's just say Gino thought the whole thing was stupid. If I may posit this to you to think about, I've never tasted cum.
Here we go.
That's what I've heard.
I know, it's a bitch.
Many-
So then he gets into this. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Nick said that Aaron has tasted his cum before. After saying that, who's talked more about Steel Toe tasting Aaron's cum? Aaron or Nick? Because Nick just dropped that bomb one time and bounced. Aaron hasn't shut up about it. Force Mommy says, I have tasted cum. Yeah, but that's hot. When it's a dude, it's gay.
People. that
Hey,
do.
you know what? I have a great idea. Let's do a little exercise.
Let's not eat some what?
One person says I have. The other person says they haven't. Let's go ahead and weigh history of dishonesty with
Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait for one of the other two people that were involved to be the tiebreaker.
each person and see who ends up more
I don't know
dishonest.
if you want to do that, Aaron.
Oh, yeah. When have I ever said I'm a trad dad?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
When have I ever said anything other?
Yeah,
I'm a
right
piece
there.
of shit and I'm doing my best.
Okay. No. I mean, you do tend to bend the truth a little bit to try to make it sound better in your way, which is okay. We're all human. That's what we all do.
It's not about being human, Will. It's about being a performer.
I don't make dollars. It don't make sense.
I watched Ric Flair growing up. I know that when you get your ass kicked at the pay-per-view, you go on Monday night with the Horsemen and tell them how you everybody up and you're the baddest man there is.
Yeah, but meanwhile, secretly, you're an absolute broke bum. Multiple divorces. Women basically end up hating you. Yeah, just like Ric Flair.
You know why?
Yeah, you always
Getting thrown out of pizzerias.
walk away saying you won.
You know why? Because it drives people insane. I think I said this on Friday's show. Chad Zumach outed himself as not a man's man the other day.
Oh,
Because
General Mutt?
he was watching a clip of me, and God bless Chad Zumach, but he's doing the
I like
Lord's
Chad.
work. I do too. Chad was playing a clip of me, and I quoted Alexander Usyk, and I said to quote Alexander Usyk, and Chad Zuma goes, another obscure reference, nobody knows who the that is, and I'm like, Chad, that is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, arguably the title of the most manly man alive.
Of what, boxing?
You have to pretend you know who that is. So,
for boxing, nobody watches. Is he talking about a boxer? Because, like, if you said, like, Islam Makhachev or Bilal Muhammad, John Jones, Alex Pereira, or if you said, like, J.J. Watt, or, you know, Aaron Rodgers, or Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, like, I would get, you know what I mean? Those are, I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's... are you not a man's man because you don't watch boxing in fucking 2024? How much? Or 2025 even? Who's watching boxing anymore? Is it a boxing reference? Who's Alexander Usyk?
But it's not anymore, man. It's not the way it used to be. Did it taste like kiwi? Does he eat a lot?
I've never tasted the shit.
A lot of oranges? I don't know.
What happens when
I love that Will keeps going back to the cum thing. Will's fucking diabolical.
cocaine gets in your bloodstream? Like, what does it do to the fluids in your body?
You tell me. Like, whose life are you going to ruin now?
I'm the kiss of death. There is no Sonichu medallion.
Find a power couple.
Yeah, there is no Sonichu medallion. It's just me.
Find another hot couple.
Gravy Show said Usyk just beat Tyson Fury. Okay, well, you're way into the fighting stuff, so, but you're not typical. Like, most average guys probably aren't following boxing lately. I think more guys would know who Tyson Fury is.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think about the people who tangle with steel toe. Like, you can't say that Melton's not going through it right now.
Johnny has no legs.
I took Johnny's legs. I took Patrick Melton's sanity and reputation. Keanu, you saw, and since we patched things up, but you saw what happened. Saw what happened to her numbers when she decided to
charge.
When you start snaking the toe, shit goes downhill for you real quick.
What are you talking about? Keanu's best numbers from when she had gossip on you.
People need to learn that from you.
But yeah, didn't Keanu do aren't all the best numbers Keanu ever did when she was talking shit about steel toe?
That is good. Lean into the joke.
I try to teach people how to lean in, and
people said my eyes are too far apart. That is awesome.
So he mentioned Melton. I hate this. I just want to preface this by saying I hate this. I hate that I even have to do this, but better to do it on a Sunday night when barely anybody's watching than to do it on a busy show, because it's gross. It's gross that I'm gonna have to defend this motherfucker. So you guys may have noticed that there was a little tiff. Pat Dixon thought it'd be cute to use his Stripe back end that he gets from the Super Chat system. So Melton made this Streamlabs ripoff that I actually commend him for. I think it's actually a very smart idea. It's literally something we were kicking around years ago, and we were just too lazy, and we never thought we'd make any good, worthwhile money doing it. But kudos. You actually built a cool. Look, let's get all the being nice to Pat Melton out of the fucking way right now, because this is not going to be an all the time thing. But I commend him for building a pretty clever little functioning thing that, you get the AI voices with all the people that they know. Like, it's smart. Can't hate it. The execution was decent. Haven't heard any problems with it. Pat Dixon now has a SuperTip system. So, you got to go to Patrick Melton. I remember when I heard about SuperTips, and I'm like, well, it sounds like an idea. And then I looked it up, and it was like, message us to request to be a part of this website. And I'm like, who runs this? And of course I looked into it, and I saw it was Melton's fucking corporate LLC. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not going on Super Tips. But I was thinking about it when I saw the system. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. And it's got all voices of people we make fun of. It's kind of tight. But I won't do business with Pat Dixon. He's not to be, he's just not, and it's not even like, you know, it's not me being a hater. It's not me being any of that. He's not a trustworthy guy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do business with Patrick Melton because he's just not a trustworthy guy. He's a liar. He lies, and I don't like doing that. I don't like dealing with liars, especially I don't want to involve business with that. That being said, I still felt compelled to defend the SuperTip system. Now, I'm not familiar with it. I don't have the back end of SuperTips, but I just know the amount of information that these websites are inclined to ask you for. It's usually not much. And I know people think that you're entering your credit card information into their website, but you're not. You're entering it into Stripe, and it's a completely secure, encrypted third party. It's the whole point of doing it. For legal purposes and otherwise, it's a Stripe individual merchant account, which Melton will get into in this. Pat Dixon's been like doxing his ex-girlfriend. Now, not only is he doxing his ex-girlfriend, I have a sinking feeling that it's not his ex-girlfriend that's been sending him super chats. Somebody sent him a couple super chats, and he went into the Stripe to see who's sending super chats, because this person was asking him like if he wants to get back with his ex and if he still misses her and all this shit, right? So he looks it up in Stripe in the back end, right? And it's a burner email account, but the zip code is the same as this chick where she lives, right? And supposedly she lives in the middle of nowhere, and you know, whatever. It's neither here nor there. He just guesses based on the fact that it's from this town and it's about her that it's got to be her messaging. So he starts doxing his ex, like, oh yeah, this is her, blah blah blah, and he does a whole unhinged like 5-minute rant about how you can look in the back end and see, you know, and he starts threatening to give her shit out, and it's like, again, this is a Stripe issue. I pointed this out when we watched it the other night. I'm like, you could lose your fucking Stripe. And if you lose your Stripe for shit like that, it's one thing if, you know, like I lost Buy Me a Coffee and then I had to go back and they eventually brought me back and whitelisted me. I've been suspended from other platforms and maybe eventually they'll bring you back when things cool down. But there are some things that they will never bring you back like for. That's one of those things that'll get you nuked from Stripe. And there's not going to be there will be no case where, oh, well, somebody sent a racist super chat and it was processed on a thing, but it was on Stripe, and Stripe is, no. You fucking cross the bank, that's it, you're done. There's a reason why you have never seen me dox or threaten to dox. Think of the last time ever in the history anyone remember a time where I so much as implied that I would dox somebody? So honestly, there are some things you just don't joke about, because they get a clip of you saying, oh yeah, I got your shit on the back end and I could do whatever I want with that info. Buddy, telling you, bro, that's the quickest way to never make money on the internet again. So anyway, this is Patrick Melton, his side of it, and I hate to admit, but I'm with him on most of this.
Are Taz and Pat together and they just can't stop talking about Felicia? Like, no one cares about this girl. We all think she's not. No one doesn't think Felicia is insane. The problem is now everyone thinks you're insane. And I told you this would happen.
That's fair. It's really sad when Patrick Melton is fucking the one that makes sense.
Like, I told you, like, you look nuts. Just like, this has been 10 months or something. So then this happened.
On Funnel, of course, is what was it last week? She's written tasks as Ron Funnel, and she super chatted me anonymously, but using her name though. Actually, she probably didn't think I had access to that information, but you can't use your card unless it matches with the zip code. That's a fact. So the zip code is not trying to dox or anything. I mean, it's just the name of a town. But I consider that doxing. Anybody else sends an anonymous thing, I have no interest in figuring out who you are, looking to see who you are, or anything.
This is the only good note about this. Like, first of all, everything is in the privacy policy in terms of service of SuperTip. Like, from the beginning. Like, of course, we can't process your credit card without your information. But luckily for you, SuperTip doesn't process credit card. Stripe does. So the selling point of SuperTip is that SuperTip doesn't charge you shit. Like, you're directly being charged by each creator. That's the beauty of it. We could never fail. This was my whole point all along, because you tried this before. All the trolls and haters tried it before. We're like, he's gonna steal your money. We never get your money. We don't have your money. Pat Dixon opens up a merchant account with Stripe, which you can all go do.
Yeah, Tolkien Studies. It's just a credit card and an address. It's not doxing. Oh, Pat Dixon gets even worse. I think we missed a few things because he had clips I didn't remember.
So when you super tip Pat, you are directly being charged by Pat.
Listen, again, I can't tell you firsthand how SuperTip works. What I can tell you is this. I assume that Patrick Melton kind of figured out what Streamlabs was doing, created a lazy clone of it, but juiced it up with Hackaverse and Dabblerverse personalities, AI voices, signed a couple of these streamers on board, tried to get a couple bucks out of them. There's no problem there. But honestly, to build a platform where you do store that kind of information is A, unnecessary, and B, would create more work than is even worth it, and C, would add so much liability to your platform that I just don't see Melton doing that. Look, there's a lot of value in just somebody's email address. Just having a valid email address is worth money. I'm sure Patrick's probably just happy to collect email addresses and usernames. That's probably all you really... How many things have we used? Ko-Fi, Buy Me a Coffee, StreamYard, Streamlabs. They're all pretty much the same thing. You enter in a fucking goofy made-up name. You go here, give you $5, and then you either pay with PayPal or you pay with your fucking thing, and you boom, bomb, bang. That takes you to Stripe. Those sites very rarely are the ones collecting your money. I think Streamlabs does. Streamlabs does. I haven't used Streamlabs in years, but I remember when Streamlabs did it, Streamlabs processed the card, and then they would pay you out like once a week or whatever after the money cleared, and that would go directly into your bank account. But a lot of these other ones, it's Stripe, bro. Buy Me a Coffee. Like, I'm looking right now. I have 4 Stripe accounts. I have Buy Me a Coffee. I have the Ko-Fi. I have Nightwave Radio Locals. And then I had to create another one for Kick, even though I'm nowhere near ever going to be earning money on Kick. But all of those sites just go, here, all right, we'll process the card, but Stripe does it. Stripe verifies with the site. Okay, it cleared, and then your little super chat pops up. So it is kind of gay that all these people, again, a lot of these people are boomers in the Dabbleverse, and they don't understand how any of this stuff works.
When you tip in LO through SuperTip, you are directly being charged by NLO. Super Tip never charges you anything yet. Now, the beauty of Stripe is it's very, very privacy centric and forward. And anybody who charges your card, giving out your information, will not be accepted or tolerated.
So are you kicking Pat Dixon off your platform? I do think, honestly, if I'm Melton, God, I'm not Melton. If I were Patrick Melton, you got to cut Pat loose. I mean, I know, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just puff your chest out and say, well, you know, that happens. I'm sure Pat Dixon's not bringing in a lot of cash. Buddy, I need you over here. Over here. Over there. Stay there. But Dixon's got to go. And it's not, you know, people say I have a personal gripe with him. I don't. I actually don't dislike Pat Dixon. We had our little dust up on the kill stream. We shook hands like men at Ralphamania. We made up. We're cool. I do think he's circling the drain, and I do think that he is a liability. His behavior has been, I mean, this is the same guy who fucking was mad about this Felicia girl how many years ago, decides to just go in all hopped up on Adderall or something and crack Gino Visconti in a fucking dirty sucker punch and break his jaw. His coworker. And now here he is years later, this same girl he's spiraling about, and he's threatening to dox her using the back end of his payment systems. He's got to go, dog. He's got to go. That kind of, like, that kind of behavior isn't going to get corrected unless he gets sober and he goes to fucking therapy and he really works on himself. But Dixon's a fucking liability right now. And if I'm Patrick Melton, I'm cutting him fucking loose.
Threatening to give out somebody's information or doxing them will not be tolerated by this platform. And even though you have limited information, I think with our system, By the way, Pat, if somebody out there does not like you enough, they'll go to Stripe themselves, dog. Think they won't. Like, people are fucking really shitty out there. People are fuckheads, and they are willing to just do shit on the internet just for the laugh, bro. You have to some extent, insulate yourself from that. Because no matter what, you want to be in the game, you're in the game. And people are going to come at you. People are going to fuck with you on the internet and in real life. But how you react to it and how you handle yourself in these situations is going to have a lot to do with how much, you know, you'll be better in the end. Financially and more stable. And I mean, look at me. I nuke my own shit all the time. I get myself in trouble. I lose accounts. I get banned. All this shit, right? But have you ever seen me get Revenge of the Sis nuked? Have you ever seen me do anything to endanger that fucking brand or that fucking show? Of course not. Because it's not mine to blow up. You know what I mean? Other people are a part of that. So we can all be our own worst enemy, all you can eat Negro. Thing is I am my own worst enemy, but I'm not going to be an enemy and a liability to those that offer me a hand. And Pat Dixon is already banned from YouTube. He's one of the ghosts that's confined to Rumble exclusive only now. And he's got a dwindling audience because anybody who's stuck on Rumble has a dwindling audience. I got 570 people watching tonight, and knowing Rumble, probably half of them are probably bots. I'm kidding. But with YouTube, if I was on YouTube right now, we'd have like 500 watching over there. Other people donating, kicking in, all that shit. But it sucks when you get fenced into this little area. And Patrick Melton, again, for all intents and purposes, I don't like the guy, but he offered you a hand. And I'm sure there's some self-interest in it. You know, but
I can't imagine there was all that much to be gained bringing you on board. Even if Patrick Melton takes a percentage of the tips, or even if it's just trying to up the profile of the super tips and get more creators to want to do it, whatever it is, your profile's not that big and you're not bringing in any money. So I can't imagine Patrick Melton fucking offered you a hand and you're biting it. You're literally biting it. Stay over there, dude. You're being very annoying tonight. They're hungry, but they're not starving. They're just being annoying.
Basically get, we basically collect on our site zip code, card number, expiration, CVV, and
don't even say that, Pat. Maybe you do collect that info, but you shouldn't. If you're using Stripe, you don't have to collect that.
We have your email address from you logging in, and if not, we ask for it. And that's pretty much to give you a receipt. But of course, that gets sent to Stripe. We never get that. SuperTip does not get that. We don't collect it. That goes straight from our website to Stripe.
I mean, again, it would literally be potential financial fraud if he was doing that. And I just don't see Patrick Melton being that goddamn devious. I mean, he's a lying fat sack of shit, but he's not that devious. I do think he wants to legitimately, at least for the most part, develop an okay reputation with people who give him money for tickets and shows and t-shirts or whatever the fuck. You don't want to burn customers if you're involved in that many businesses. I think Pat Melton's a fool. I mean, he's a buffoon, but I don't think he's involved in fucking collecting credit card numbers and skimming cards. He's that fucked up.
Processed.
It's not Chad Zumach, you know? Come on.
Yay or nay. I'm pretty sure that's all we receive is like an acronac. As that transaction goes through Stripe, it pays out a percentage to us.
Oh, so he does get a little
But if you ever need a refund, you contact the creator, because the creator's the one that charged you, not SuperTip. If you ever want to claim fraud or whatever, the beauty of SuperTip, we set it up like this in the beginning. We didn't charge you shit. So you got to take that up with the creator. You gave money to Pat Dixon. You don't feel like you got your money's worth. You want to do a chargeback. You're not charging back to SuperTip. You're charging back to Pat Dixon. Pat Dixon sees when people give Pat Dixon money. And he has a merchant account, which he's entered into a contract with Stripe with, to collect your personal information and not disclose it.
And by the way, I want to make it very clear, because Patrick Melton, in this case, is doing an absolutely atrocious job in explaining how these systems work. So I'd like to let you guys know, as far as I can look at, when I look at Ko-Fi and I look at Buy Me a Coffee, look, I'm again, I did this the other night. I go into my back end, I look, and I got nothing. I got emails, and I can have a name if you want to give me a name. You don't even have to give me a name. All I have is a customer ID that's unique to that person and their email. Billing details. I get nothing. It's dashed out. I don't even get your zip code. I don't know where the fuck you people are from. I don't know who you are. I just want that on the record. If you donate via Ko-Fi or Buy Me a Coffee, I don't have any of your info stored. And I like it that way. I like it that way. The less I know, the better. But he's telling you, like, Stripe will give you this and that and give you this, that, the other. Stripe doesn't even give you that info. I don't know how Pat Dixon's finding the, how he's even finding the zip unless Stripe's giving him that through Super Tips. Because I don't know, man. I'm looking at my stuff right now. I don't have any info on some of my biggest donors. All I have is an email. An email, and that's it. It doesn't give me your last four. It doesn't give me your last. It will tell me. I'm looking now. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, they do give you that. I guess I'm just not that devious to ever look. Okay, yeah, I guess you do get real names and zips and all that from Stripe. I did not know that, because I, again, I've never been hit with the curiosity or the desire to know people's real, you know what I mean? Ever. That's just weird behavior. That's very fun. No, Triple N, yes, dude, I swear to God, I had no idea. I had no idea Stripe gave us that much info. I mean, you have to click around to find it, but that's the thing. I had to click like 2 things, and then I went, oh, wait, shit, yeah, they do give you that info. Yeah, Goofy Boots. I was a little shocked right there.
He doesn't get your full credit card number. He doesn't get any of that stuff. He gets like email, zip code, maybe IP address. I don't even know if he gets that. But SuperTip didn't do shit. This is Pat Dixon. And Pat Dixon may not have even violated Stripe's terms.
I think he did.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm of the opinion that he did.
But this whole thing was me looking out for Pat. Is how it started. Watch this clip.
Happen to know in this case that this was Felicia trying to talk me into being with her, and these anonymous super tips, which, as it turns out, were very easy to see who it was.
The reason this is a dumb argument is because you're like, I never would have gave it if I thought it would get to Pat. It's like, well, you knew Super Tips was Patrick's company, and Patrick was friends with Pat, so why would you trust Patrick to not give your info over to Pat Dixon? Either way, someone's collecting your credit card info. You're not that dumb, right?
This is what it's escalated to now on her end. That she's wanting to see me again or talk to me, whatever.
For people who don't know what's going on, Felicia Gillespie was sending in super tips to Pat through a different name. He found out who she was by going into his Stripe back end and seeing her zip code. And because that's her zip code, and I guess she lives in the middle of nowhere, Pat's certain that this is Felicia Gillespie. I guess he doesn't even know because it was like a fake email address. So this is Felicia putting in super tips to him about seeing him or getting honesty out of him or asking about Taz and his relationship.
How much money to say what you'd say to her in person? These are 2 different super tips. These both came from her.
This is high school shit. I can't reiterate it enough, and I've told Pat all this in person many times over text. This is so insane. What would you say to her if you could see her again? And then, you're rereading this to us. It's like, you're fucking 50.
It's got a point. I hate
you guys, you deserve each other. This is fucking pathetic. Felicia runs over to MLC, and Pat said this, and Pat's doing this, and then you do your show where you and Taz are getting to the bottom of it. It's like, what's going on? And Pat's like, well, I'm sick of the stalking. She's stalking me. Doing what? Like what? I don't really want an answer. You look nuts. You are looking nuts. Whatever her plan was, it worked because she make you look nuts. And before, all I did was think she was nuts. But this is all nuts. This is nuts. I'm not even kidding. We don't have a formal contract with you. Just so you know, my initial thing when I reached out to Pat was can you just clarify that you're going through and getting all her shit and doing this on Stripe and not SuperTip? And he's like, yeah, of course. That's what I said. No. You said SuperTips aren't anonymous and I can see that it's her. So by you going into Stripe, looking up all her tips, finding out that's her, coming back and retroactively going through and going, look, that was her. Going back and reliving those, and then now reading the list to us, telling us all the tips that were really Felicia, you're kind of breaking the terms of she didn't want that out on the show that was her. You understand? And that a real company would fuck, man, why are you bringing me into this? So while it is true that you went to Stripe and looked up all the information, Now that you know what you know, you're going back into our system and on your show. It's one thing to do it to yourself, to know your customer and go, Moody told you this over text. It's like there's power in you knowing that she's doing that and you don't say a fucking word. You just shh, let her keep giving you money. But it's getting to Pat so much he had to come out with this to own her back. This could be a problem. And again, not for us, for you. For you. You don't have many income streams. You lost your YouTube. I'm trying to help. I was trying to tell you you're breaking Stripe's shit.
He is breaking Stripe's toss.
Like they'll just kick you off. I don't. They don't need someone breaking the rules or causing trouble, or like, God forbid Felicia keeps harassing you and then you snap and because I don't know how stable you are.
Uh-oh.
And then this ends up in a police report. Well, after harassing him through the SuperTip system so many times, we don't need.
That would be great. Shut up, Pat. That would be Patrick. That would be great publicity. Oh my God, bro. That would be amazing publicity, because if you did, in fact, not have anything to do with it, you're just going to get a bunch of free publicity. I would love to be on the Murderer Streamlabs. I'd be like, well, fucking, they probably won't kick me off for saying the N-word.
Eat it. This got nasty quick. My first message was like, can you please clarify? Thank you. And then it all got, immediately one of their people in their chat started going like, I think he can talk about her anytime he wants to. She's the one harassing him. And it's like, okay, no. And then Taz started going like, to be fair, she was stalking us first and da-da-da-da-da, so she deserves anything it's like, that's not what we're doing. Again, he only thinks this is her because of the zip code. He doesn't even know it's her. And now he's saying it's her. From what I understand, it's a fake email address.
I am firmly in the school of thought that somebody is having some fun with Pat Dixon. I firmly believe it. So, because it would be hilarious. It would be even to me. I just don't think his ex is sending him little super chats about her, and I just don't think that's the case. It'd be a lot funnier if somebody else is just fucking with Pat, and it'd be a lot funnier if Pat nukes his whole life over a chick who's not even really contacting him.
I don't know if he's seeing the name or if it's a different name. He says I verified it. It's the same email address, or it's the same zip code. So I don't even know if he's positive it's her. And now he's going back and replaying and goes, these were all Felicia. You don't see how this is a problem?
So yeah, this is better to show them all anyway.
She wanted all these to be anonymous, but let's play them all. This is her. This one's her. This one's her. You don't see how that's a problem.
Do you still want to see Gilly?
It's all Felicia.
It's all Felicia, yeah. Provably so. Ask me for the proof.
Ask me for the proof. Now he'll share it with you. Now he's telling you, anybody who wants to know, I'll share with you the private details of a transaction from Stripe. Hello? You're going to lose your merchant account. He doesn't like...
Yeah, and by the way, Stripe, this isn't like... Stripe's not one of these services where, like, let's say somebody donated on Buy Me a Coffee, right? And I threatened to dox that person, or I did some shady shit like that, right? I wouldn't lose my Buy Me a Coffee Stripe account, because every one of them is a separate account. But you have one name. I have one tax ID. It's just me. But I have all these separated accounts so that I know where everything came from at the end of the year. So you have a Ko-Fi one. But if I get nuked from Buy Me a Coffee, not from the Buy Me a Coffee service, but if Stripe decides I did something wrong in the content, using my Buy Me a Coffee backend, I lose everything. You don't lose, because the way Stripe views it is every single like thing that you open, like in my case, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, Locals, Kick, right? Those are all accounts, is the term. Like you have to open up a separate account, right? But then you have your overall profile. What I'm saying is it's your profile that will get nuked. And this isn't YouTube. It's not a Twitch account. It's not a Twitter account. It's literally tied to your fucking federal ID number. It's literally tied to your fucking federal ID number. So whether it's a corporate account or your social security number, you're done. They will nuke everything. You don't want to lose Stripe, Pat. You really don't want to lose Stripe, man. That's... Scampoli has told me it was like one of his biggest regrets. He was fucking around and getting... And I don't even remember why he got his Stripe nuked, but... Because I had a few things I talked to him about, and he's like, every time I would go, what did you try this? He's like, Stripe, dude. Can't have Stripe. Like, I fucked that up. And he's like, it's one of my biggest regrets is nuking my Stripe, man, because you can't have shit.
I think to this moment, he doesn't fucking understand.
No.
I'm like...
He texted me this morning, dude, if I broke Stripe's rules, it's my problem. It's not. We have working enterprise relationships with these companies. Contracts. Over $1,000 a month. Contracts. This gets even worse.
Ron Fuddle is the email that she used. Ron Fuddle.
See? So all he knows is the zip code. She used an email, Ron Fuddle. She used the name.
I hope it's a guy who's literally named Ron Fuddle, and he went to high school with her.
Ron Fuddle. And then she used her zip code, so Pat knows it's her.
And I don't really feel like putting anybody's information out there that doesn't need to be out there any more than it is.
Why would you?
But, if you want to see the last 4 digits of her credit card, like when you buy something,
if you want to see the last 4 digits of her credit card number,
you are giving this information to the vendor. That's just the way it is. So that's just reality. This is not some kind of double cross.
So this is the problem. It's you going, you want to see her email address? You want to see all the things she's done, she's purchased? Do you want to see her zip code? Do you want to see the last 4 of her credit card number? Again, I think to this minute, he doesn't understand that like giving out that information and threatening to give it out is insane.
That's wild, isn't it? But yeah, that's, thank God, hopefully the first and hopefully the last time for a long time that we have to defend Patrick Melton. But this is all on Pat Dixon. Now, if he does nuke Melton's platform on his way out, that's just funny. I mean, I will laugh, but oh, man. I feel like shit, man. I gotta go get some rest, and I gotta be up tomorrow. I gotta do a show. I gotta take a trip. I have so much shit to do that I wanted to do this weekend, but I just have been sick all weekend.